You can't imagine the stability you have in your mind when you have a home of your own. The asset gives you joy. It supports you with customization. Will you ever want to break a rental home and renovate it? You screw up your mind so badly. You become a person of today without factorizing tomorrow at all.
So Vijay, this is our 10th episode and we have come to the last leg of our first season. I want to take up the most volatile question or the most requested question for this podcast: rent versus buy a property. And secondly, whether is it viable to leave the hustle bustle of the city and invest in a house somewhere in the hill station where there is better air, more peace of mind, more cheaper labor maybe, and spend your life in a better area, that per se, and leave the city. As an investor, what are your reactions?
So first of all, SV, thank you very much for supporting me in this selfless cause, as you know, and as I want to keep telling my viewers that all of my 10 podcasts, which had teasers, trailers on Insta, snippets trying to draw attention towards my podcast, it's absolutely been selfless. My job here, my initiative is only to lure people to buy property in the metros of Mumbai. These are emerging markets. Whenever you think you should buy, it is a good time. And this is the advocacy I give all the time. Thank you in supporting me in this brave endeavor of mine. And as the weather these days advocates rent, don't buy, or sell your property, go to the Himalayas. Let's take it one at a time. Advocacy that rent and don't buy. Suddenly some intellect says that goes on rent.
Very influential people, by the way.
Yeah, very influential new age people say that. Traditionally, if you ask our parents, if you ask our grandparents, they will not. It is more emotional and more from the stability angle their views come from. But if you go to the drawing board on an Excel sheet and have a good financial analysis also, you will still conclude that in an emerging market, especially in the metros of India, buying eventually creates wealth. Long-term expense on rent will supersede investment in real estate if you judiciously calculate. There are documentary evidence that 2022, 76% of the world's store of wealth was done in real estate.
Wow.
The richest are solid real estate holders. So this is for all those who understand data and not emotion. You can't imagine the stability you have in your mind when you have a home of your own. The asset gives you joy. It supports you with customization. Will you ever want to break a rental home and renovate
No,
it?
can't.
You screw up your mind so badly. You become a person of today without factorizing tomorrow at all. Every time you think of doing something, you'll say, why the hell? It's a landlord. The constant threat of a landlord wanting to evict you is always there. In an emerging market, the constant northward trajectory of rent going. Suddenly there's demand. Like in Bandra today, redevelopment का state has got so much of demand for real estate. जूनी building टूटती है, वो लोगों का
Yeah,
कहाँ
yeah.
जाके रहना है. Do you know what it has done to all those who thought that real estate was something we should never buy and it is easier renting it? They're out of their houses. They cannot afford Bandra anymore. Some have gone to Andheri, some have gone to Borivali, some have probably ended up in a Virar just because of this stupid mindset and advocating this illogical thought process in an emerging market. It is, as an investor, I welcome these idiots who think this way. What will they do? They will create a feudal divide.
Yeah.
Eventually, property will be
In the hands
of a concentrated few.
Yeah.
And the rest will be at their mercy.
Yeah.
I advocate this to common man only to break that trend we are making as trend setters as Gen Z. Please buy your asset. On the hindsight, coming back to those who want to go to the Himalayas to better air, इन मूर्खों को हम प्रमोट इसीलिए करते हैं कि झक मारा के सस्ते में या आज अपना सामान हमको बेच जाएंगे और उसके बाद वहाँ सही नमूने में जो आप कहते हो वहाँ जाके फ्रेश एयर ही खाएंगे. जब वो वापस आएंगे, the city will not welcome them. The doors will be shut.
Yeah, because
You'll be out of the rat race first. I have told you all, we have not come here in the material world to become monks. जब अंगूर नहीं मिले थे तो उन्होंने कह दिया भाई ग्रेप्स आर सार. Who accepts that मुझे पहुंचना पॉसिबल नहीं था? Strive. If you can't reach for the bigger ones, you थोड़ा low hanging fruit, achieve the low hanging fruits, but stick around. Do not leave the metros of an emerging market. You will be washed. You will be washed ashore. Please don't get carried away by this easy today. To make your old age, to make your fag end of your life very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about places that are adjacent to the metro, like a Kharghar for Bombay and a Panvel or a Karjat. If leaving their Bombay house and going 2 hours away from Bombay to lead a slower life, does that make sense?
For starters, doing this is a sign of laxity. It will only make you and your entire thought process lazy and content. Satiety is the death of all invention. आप जिस दिन satisfy हो गए, आप खत्म हो गए. Please do not fall for these silly quotes running on Insta. Please do not go to a Kharghar because prime time Mumbai will never be able to accept you again. You will never be able to afford. Your mind and your pocket would have been out of the Bombay telephone directory. ये सोचना सिर्फ वो रख सकता है जिसको फुकट में घर मिला अपने बाप दादाओं से. वो कहता है मैं बॉम्बे का घर बेच दूँ, 2-4 करोड़ रुपया लूँ, 50 लाख में खारघर में घर लूँ और 4 करोड़ रुपया ब्याज पे डाल दूँ और उसको जिंदगी भर चलाते रहूँ. What have you done to yourself? You have finished yourself. You are dead for the world and for yourself. All that you do is wheel the rest of your life. What is the fun in that? Why don't we concentrate on creating wealth over income?
Yeah.
See the long-term strength of an asset called real estate. It creates wealth. What would you be more happy with? A father leaving a few FDs behind or a father leaving some solid properties which would get you lease, which would get you security, stability?
100%.
Bandra ka ghar, Juhu ka ghar, Khar ka ghar, Santa Cruz ka ghar, whichever house you have in prime time Mumbai, in case you run into rough weather, banks are ready to leverage those houses to give you temporary income, temporary support, right? Loans. You have a situation, you can lease these houses for a while so that you can generate rent out of them and live in more modest environment for some time till you can, conquer the tide if you are running through a rough patch. You can have PGs in your house. There are so many things a owned house can do for you. This is the this is when you hit the rock bottom and you have a situation how your ancestral wealth in terms of real estate can rescue you. In your good times, you can break open this house, renovate it, live a more life, better life because it's your own home. You can sell this apartment to upgrade to a new one. Do you know 90% of the people who buy in Carbandra today are actually upgrading their wealth by buying new houses?
Yeah.
आप 10 करोड़ का घर लेने जाओगे 3 bedroom hall कहाँ से चलेगा?
Yeah.
If you have a 2 bedroom, you sell it and buy a new one, it's achievable. You are in the race. So sell only if you want to upgrade in these areas. Baki, there are sharks who are waiting for you to take a cue from this silly thought process of migrating.
Yeah.
They will eat into you instantly and make sure you vanish. Do not do that. Whenever you buy from the thought process of long-term wealth creation. If that happens as a salaried class, this will automatically make you a disciplinarian. Monthly EMIs, paying them on time will make you a disciplinarian. Living your choices life, making the finest infrastructure will never pinch you because it's your very own home. Going out to get married, creating stability in your spouse's mind in terms of your local standing will be far more superior to a rented home or a home in Kharghar, right? You will have children eventually who will be housed, who will be roofed in the same house. It will be beneficial for them. Would you want to have newly born children? They don't come at the age of 18, right, from their mother's wombs. They have to grow. Is it okay that you keep migrating year on year, every 2 years, 3 years? Please don't be a vagabond. These thought processes are rolling stone will gather no moss, is what old school used to say. So don't do what Insta is teaching you these days. Buy today, buy in the metros, and if it's metros, there are 3 metros you can buy. Mumbai. I keep advocating that. Focus on the concentrated, exhausted Mumbai, and do not fall for traps like Kharghar as Mumbai. They are not Mumbai.
Yeah.
Most importantly, going in the Himalayas, everybody who intends to sell their prime time houses because they've acquired it ancestrally and thinking of going to Goa, to Himalayas, please sell their properties to me. Don't call me for help. Sell them to me. I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
Because I want to be part of the feudal system, if at all given a choice, rather than being part of the democratic world. So it's best that, you please know how to hold on to this wealth called real estate. It is very difficult to make estate in prime time Mumbai. It is very difficult to buy today. Anything that you have got as your own earning or blessing of your ancestors, please do not let it go unless you are wanting to top it up with a better asset by selling. I sold my house recently to buy a new one, but selling a 1,000 feet house to buy a 1,200 feet house is fine. It's absolutely fine. It was in the vicinity, 100 meters from where I stay. There was no love lost. I got an opportunity. I pulled the trigger. It's only then you're allowed to sell real estate. Otherwise, it's a sin. It's a sin you're doing to yourself, your life, and the life around people who are, who you are responsible for. Your family, your parents, your children, your spouse. Please don't get into this trap.
Yeah, but what about the allure of traveling and clean air and slow life?
Clean air, pure air, all this, there are enough gizmos and metros available to make that happen in your house. You don't need to actually migrate to the Himalayas to do this. I will tell you the perils of going into Himalayas. Now coming back to clean air after the rent weather has been cleared of all those who think renting is better than buying in Mumbai. It is great to go to a hill station for recreational purpose. Feel good, take a break, and come back. Do you know the perils of staying there? After staying in a metro for years, do you know all the way from uh, sanitation to infrastructure to availability of resources, how convenient life is over here? 15,000 for a maid, 20,000 for a driver. This is all the perks of real material world Bombay has to offer. Food on Swiggy, delivery on Instamart. Everything is so simple. Call Blinkit, it's done. Call a courier guy and he takes away your stuff and delivers it wherever it goes. All of this happens only in the metros. Going over there makes you a hermit. And it's fun to be in a hermitage for 7 days, not beyond that. After that world starts eating you. And while you are advocating this life for a while, it starts haunting you. But the permission to come back to the metro, you have lost long back. Because merely coming back would mean 11% of entry load. In terms of buying a new house, your stamp duty of 6%, 5% of GST. Only an entry load of coming back is 11%. And the wealth which you have eroded because of the then inflationary trend which you lost out on has ruined you completely, and you have to live with the decision of staying in the Himalayas with fresh air. So don't do all of that. If you think that you need fresh air, take a break. Metro income allows you to do that. But there is no resource that helps you live a life like equivalent to the metros. There is no opportunity that helps you make money out there. Why are they, what they are? It's purely because they are designed to be hill stations. They are designed to be holiday destinations. You don't need to, if you are not a hotelier, you don't need to be in Goa. That is not where you get your revenue from.
Speaking about developers looking at these new avenues in the outskirts of Mumbai, I and some of my friends are getting a lot of ads where they're pushing for a second home, buy your second home in say a Kharghar or a Karjat or a Panvel. As an investment, is it a viable, practical option? What do you think?
If you want to have a second home from the thought process of going out for a break every now and then, why do you want to limit to one asset? Why do you want to buy there? Buy something here of an equivalent price, rent it out. And the amount of rent you are getting, use that to keep changing your destinations. What's the problem with that? I used to hear about these timeshare hotel deals we used to get. Not that I was not an advocate. I never, deep dived into that angle. But today I realize that why should we go for a timeshare and focus on just one property? Similarly, why should we buy a property and keep going there? मेरे डैडी बोलते थे कि अगर दूध पीना है तो गाय थोड़ी पालनी है. आप तो यही बात कर रहे हो ना कि दूध पीना है मुझे तो एक गाय क्यों नहीं खरीद लूं? No. Make a choice. Mother Dairy, Amul, other organic farms. There are so many available. Keep changing. Think if a vacation home is a 2-word phrase. Vacation. And what does vacation mean? It means a change. It means recreation. Going there repetitively doesn't make it a vacation.
Then it also isn't upkeep of 2 homes an expense?
Going deeper into it, every time you go there, you'll be changing the bulbs. Your plants would be dying. Your malis you have kept there will not be responding properly. If it's a small outhouse, if it's a house, the infrastructure will be shambling. Some locks will not open. Some window panes might have, got old and weary. Your bed sheets might be stinking. You have to put it in the washing machine. You realize because you have not been here for a while, washing machines are not working.
Vacation's over, ये सब करते करते.
Suddenly, 3 दिन में से आप 1-2 दिन तो you are calling people, and those spaces are such that everything is lax. All the people over there are lazy. हवा ही ऐसी है ना, तो इलेक्ट्रिशियन तो 2 दिन आएगा ही नहीं. And you are struggling. आपका वॉशिंग मशीन नहीं चलता है तो एजेंसी को फोन करके उसे उठा के उसको निपटना. Is that what you call vacation? And because you have invested the money, you have no choice but to do it. It doesn't end there, SV. It doesn't end there. मुझे मालूम पड़ा SV के पास ये आउट हाउस है. मेरे जैसा वाइज मैन उससे चाबी ले लेता है. और वो रहने जाता है वहाँ, और जाते जाते फ्लैश कमोड का टूट जाता है, ढक्कन टूट जाता है, मैं तो आ जाता हूँ वापस और उसको थैंक यू बोल देता हूँ। एसवी वहाँ जाके मेरी करनी का फल भुगत रही है, वो फ्लश ठीक करा रही है, ढक्कन ठीक करा रही है। हाँ, एसवी ने जो अपने लिए राशन रखा हुआ था, यू नो, निक नैक्स, थोड़ा खाना पीना, अल्कोहल, वो खा पी के भैया निकल गया। सो हमारे दोस्तों में कहावत है कि वाइज मैन बोरो द कीज एंड फूल्स इन्वेस्ट इन दीज आउट हाउसेस। तो अगर आप यू आर वन ऑफ दोज who choose to have a second home, then I want to be your best friend. So on that note, I would not recommend, strictly not recommend any of these provocative thoughts jeopardizing your broader interests. You are fortunate to be born human, even more fortunate to be born in a metro like Mumbai. Please give respect to that, and stay here and grow, because every person sitting there in those hill stations and those Himalayas you intend to go to have fresh air from, believe me, all of them have aspirational value to come here.
That's true.
हमारी दादी कहती थी ये सब मिलने के नाटक है, जिसको होता है ना वो कदर नहीं करता है। हर आदमी हिमालय में यहाँ आना चाहता है। They want to make it big here. If he's an actor, he's an agency, he's a businessman, entrepreneur, everybody wants to try their luck in Bombay. Do you know the influx of people coming into Bombay? Are they fools? Are they fools? You are sitting in prime time Mumbai and wanting to escape. मैं आपको मेरा 10th selfless podcast, जहाँ मैं ये बनाने को खर्चा करता हूँ, एक सीरियस नोट पे बंद करना चाहता हूँ। यदि लक्ष्मी आपके सर पे तिलक लगाना चाहती है, कभी भी मुंह धोने की बातें नहीं करना। On that note, thank you very, very much for supporting me in this endeavor and seeing me sail through these 10 podcasts we've had. You've borne a lot with me. You shopped a lot with me every time you've had new attire. And thank you for being around and being a real, very serious inspiration for me to reach here. We will be coming back with a newer look, a newer format of our next season. Obviously, you will be the diva of that season too. But
I would like to thank actually how much you have really been selfless and spoken about your experiences, some things that others would have not really shared. You have given your tips, you have given insider tricks, and you have been unabashedly yourself. I think that's rare to find. And I'm very glad, we are very glad to have been a part of this with you.
Thank you so much. On that note, I also want to tell you all that under no circumstances this podcast will ever have a commercial outlook. We will never protect. I've always advocated, and I keep advocating that I will never promote any project or any developer. I will only give my experiences, which will transpire in the form of podcast, so that you can judiciously make your calls while buying and selling your real estate as a trader. And never in my life will I stand up and say, ये दिखा दूंगा और ये उखाड़ दूंगा और ये दिखा दूंगा और ये खरीदवा दूंगा. That's not me. I've done it for a long, long time. A broker. I respect the fact that I'm a broker. I enjoy calling myself a broker. I have done my run as far as all of that life goes. It's time to give back to the system that has given me so much of respect, appreciation, and above all, a lot of money. So that is the reason I have turned 50. I want to do all of this selflessly. Anybody who intends to buy property is welcome to buy it through me, through any advocacy. I will stand up to structure it for them whenever they find it pro bono, because your real estate is my business. Always remember that. Your real estate is my business. If we all collectively advocate real estate, my business flourishes anyway. So thank you very much once again, and we sign off this podcast.
You sound like it's a goodbye. It's not a goodbye.
It's
These
a
people are
goodbye.
here only. Yeah.